It's Mama Selena for African Daisy, and it's Money Monday. I hope that you are doing amazing. We, of course, I took Selena to school this morning. We had a good morning, and just looking forward to what this week has to hold for us. So anyway, it is Money Monday, and I wanted to talk about something today about budgeting. So I don't know, of course, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions, now that we're in the new year, and they make plans like we're going to do this better, we're going to do that better. We're going to, and one of the things that I had seen online, and it was a Kenyan lady, and she was budgeting, and she had done like a challenge for the year, like for 2024. And so then she was showing the results of what she did. And she did a couple different things. She did like kind of like the piggy bank thing where she put money in there. And then she also did, she had budgeted envelope system and budgeting. And it was really, anyway, it just really, I was like, this is so good, because I actually, I watch people like Dave Ramsey or Golden Myron, but it's particularly Dave Ramsey, who talks about the envelope system, talks about budgeting, saving, all that. So anyway, I totally recommend. I'm just out of my own whatever. Dave Ramsey is a good person to listen to if you are interested in finances. The other person is Golden Myron. He's also someone that is really good in talking about finances. And so anyway, but what I wanted to say in that was the thing that I came back to was, I know that you're supposed to budget, right? We know. Okay, I know that. A lot of times you think, I know how much I have, it doesn't matter really. But what I've understood about myself anyway, is that I'm a zero, I don't know what they call it, but it's like, so let's say I get my budget. I know how much I get, let's say, for example, for myself, I get a certain amount for grocery shopping each week, and for a few other things. So I have, it's not just for grocery shopping, but I have a certain amount I get each week that we've set aside, that is the amount I get, and that I can do shopping, I can do, one or two other things, a couple other things. So what I've realized with that is, if you are not intentional, it is so easy for that money just to go. And you get to the end of the week and you're like anticipating the money for the next week, right? So it's still a budget, because it's that amount of money. It's not changed. That's what we use for that. So technically there's no issue. I can just use that up freely in that way. But what I've realized is I can take that amount and I can double it, or I can make it more money. So I had been thinking about it, like, okay, how do I do that? Because practically, because it's one thing, or I would say it's easy to say to other people that, let's, that it's very doable. Like, in other words, you don't need more money. Because the thing is, we really know, if you look at how things go, you really know that it is not about the amount of money that you make. That it has really more to do with what you do with the amount of money that you make. So I was like, okay, but I know that those words, I can say those words. I know those words are true. But practically, am I showing that? Is it really true that is the case? So what I started to do was sit down and take my budget that I have for each week and budget that budget. Because the other thing is this, you know, as much as we know, we could spend less on a lot of things if we wanted to, right? And then we had the opportunity to save that amount up. And so what I started to realize was that I had the ability to save up. So basically we had already, okay, so for my husband and I, we had already decided that we take an amount of money that we put aside for savings. Well, I decided I'm going to double that amount to put aside for savings. So that'll be an amount that we don't touch. We just put that aside for different things that come up. But it's put there for savings. And then I realized that, okay, I can limit myself to a lesser amount than I have for my grocery shopping. So that just means that I got to get creative. I can get creative. And then what I found was, and then what I do is I put aside, I factor it in. I factor some of these other things in. So I always factor in like going out to eat or, getting some coffee because it's something I do enjoy to do. I do enjoy doing. And, it is something that for Selena and I, that is a fun thing to do every so often. But what I started to realize was, let me budget that amount. And so I budgeted a lesser amount per week. Okay. So I do have to, how would I say? So it will be intentionality, especially when you first start, to just be like, okay, we don't, because it's not budgeted like really for like two people to go out to eat. It's just budgeted like a fairly small amount, and then that would just add up. And then when that, it'll go in a specific envelope, and then that money will be used for that. So it'll be special. And especially now with her in school, it's not often that we're going to be, that we have to go out to eat or that we go out to eat. So I want to make it a little bit more special. And so then what I found was, when I'm doing that, I have another amount of money. Okay, so this is the same budget I get every week. It's not a different budget. And every week what was happening was, I get to the end of that week and I'd be like, okay, waiting for the next money for the next week. And so I wasn't accomplishing anything with this money other than grocery shopping, maybe going out to eat, and, buying one or two things here or there. But I realized when I break it down, it's like, oh, I can now take this other amount. So what happens is, so I have an amount set for savings and an amount that's for grocery shopping. Then and then a small amount for out to eat. And then the remaining balance is, I'll think what I'm trying to say. Oh, the remaining balance. So then I realized that there's a pretty good chunk, a pretty decent size chunk that's remaining. So I was like, and I thought, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait to the end. So take each week, I'll take that amount and put it aside in another envelope. And so at the end of the week, that remaining money there will go towards something like, for example, this month, we have cats and dogs now. We have two cats and one dog, or one little puppy and two little kittens, I guess. And so now we had to feed them. So this particular month, I am going to use that money to get like large bags of cat and dog food. And then, and maybe, I don't know, the containers to put them in or something like that. But basically, I'm not going to use any other kind of money to do that. It is just going to be that. So that way, then we're pretty much set for maybe, Lord willing, a month or two with with the food. Because there is a brand that they like, and it's, oh Lord, it's a bit pricey. We've tried a couple different kinds, and they prefer the pricier brand, of course, for whatever reason. I think because they know it's pricey. So anyway, my hair today is so. And so anyway, I'm excited about that. And then I'm gonna take. So then, of course, each month I'm going to budget the same way. So I've budgeted the same way for each month. So then, that remaining balance, like I said, for this month, it's going to be the cat and the dog food. Next month, I'm going to use that money for, clothing. Selena and myself to get clothing. Because I don't ever budget. I've never budgeted for clothing. Some of you have commented about, oh, I think you always wear the same clothing, or you always wear black. I think somebody commented that I always wear black. I do have a lot of black dresses, but yeah, I always wear the same clothes because it's just not I'm not one of those people that budgets for clothing. I don't find it necessary. So that's another way. Like, you can really save money because, yeah, I don't have anything to prove to anybody. So, yeah. And let's see. Oh, and then the next month, basically there'll be whatever those extra things are. That money will be used for that. And then of course there will be some months that it's like, okay, maybe somebody's, maybe we find that month somebody's coming to visit. It's like, oh, I have this extra amount to use towards that, or you know what I mean? Like, anyway, the point I'm saying is this. I realize that you can take, and then one of the other months, I'm also going to be buying seeds, and I want to get these pots to put to do them, like raised gardens or raised beds, to do, grow things like potatoes and tomatoes and sugar peas and spring onions and just all those type of things. Another way to save money, another way to, and a lot of you have shambas or gardens already. And so, skooma, spinach, all the things. So some of you already have those things, and that's, that's huge. Like, that's a huge saving, because that's yeah. Anyway, so I just want to encourage us to budget. I know that it is, it seems like, really, how is that something? But it really adds up. And then the goal is that the savings after the end of I'm going to save for 4 months, something like that. And then at the end of those 4 months, it's a good chunk, and then it'll be used towards doing a big project in the house, finishing my kitchen or working towards finishing my kitchen. And you could say, when I say something like that, it sounds like, wow, you must get a lot of money. Like, you're a white, in Kenya, you're a Musungu. So you must be getting heaps and heaps of money every week. And I just want to encourage you. So it's not that, it isn't. It's just that the Lord really highlighted that to me, that how you can take the amount you have and you can really double it and make it more. And it's not necessarily a quick process, but it's not that slow either. But it's just amazing how, but I guess the thing is, it's writing it down, write it down, folks, write it down. Just, it's so wise to do it, write it down. So anyway, this new year, yeah, I'm gonna make a difference and help our family out in a big way that I can, and just see us be able to accomplish a lot of things that, before I was kind of not doing. So anyway, I love you all. I hope that you're having a great day, and let's make some money.